Welcome back to another episode of Why Did It Take 3 months to get this far on this project? So the wording on this video is a little bit weird because I refer to some stuff that you're not actually seeing. I had an issue where I lost a lot of footage, and this video was the culmination of 2 videos that was started a long time ago, as I described in the video. So just kind of disregard the weird stuff that I'm saying about, you probably already saw this, just don't worry about it. It's finally done. It's taken me 4 different times to film all this video, but this is it. Here it goes. Alright, we're back at it. It's several months later, but we're getting back to finishing these door panels. I really should have started on the rears because they're a lot easier to maneuver, but instead when I started I jumped right into the fronts and kind of messed them up a little bit, so I'm going to try to be conservative with my materials today. That way I can hopefully redo those by the end of this video. So you guys are gonna... Yep, get in here. So... this side's done, and it looks pretty fucking good, honestly. Better than the front. It's not fraying on the edges. It's all pushed in there. I think I need to push that there in the bottom a little further in. But I sprayed glue into the edges as well to hold it down because the front is kind of detaching. And I glued it to the inner facing so it's tight. I don't think that's coming apart, but we'll see. Now, it's time to get started on this one. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Asbestos. Cool, so I'm gonna take this back over to our workbench here. I've already got a piece of interface cut for this. So now, I just need to cut some fabric itself to match that. We should be good to rock and roll. This side should honestly start going a lot faster. Stuff's not like super directional or anything, so I can kind of just do this wherever I want. This is the piece that's going on the door. This is the piece that's going under that. Now, this interference right here is supposed to be an iron-on situation, but if you just iron it on, it is not going to situate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray this with a healthy amount of sauce, and then I'm going to lay this on here, iron it, make sure we get all of our wrinkles and everything out, and then I will sauce it again to lay it on there. Okay, now that this is sauced, loosely put that on there, and I'm just going to smooth it by hand first, and we'll flip. I've got this guy right here, should have been heating up. This guy's pretty warm. Want to make sure that there's nothing stuck to the top of this, because it will iron into there. I want to make sure that my glue is not dry yet. I want to do this while it's still kind of tacky, kind of moist, because this will help adhere some of that, and if it's already fully glued to it, you're not going to be able to get your wrinkles out as well. And that's one of the most important parts of this right here, is just getting these wrinkles. See one right here. You don't want to overheat an area, end up melting your material. Now I'm kind of going back over it now that I've got the wrinkles out and I know it's on there. So this piece, glued, attached, ironed. Next step, we're going to throw it on the car. Apply glue here, wait until it gets tacky, stick it up there. I'm gonna go ahead and clean and prep the area. I've got everything taped off and prepared. This is just to protect so glue doesn't get on my door panels. I'm gonna go ahead and spray glue on my other piece, bring it in here, and we'll start setting it. I'm gonna make sure you're very careful that you don't let it fold over and stick to itself or stick to anything else that you wouldn't want it to stick to. get some orientationing. I line mine up from the bottom. You can do it however you want. Should be. You've got a couple of seconds right after you've sprayed it to kind of move it around and wiggle it on there. I've got mine how I want, and I've got a squeegee that you would typically use for a wrap, and I'm just gonna try to, you know, make sure that we're getting some pressure on every part of the glue that's on there, as well as kind of spreading out some of that excess glue that's in there. Some spots get sprayed a little heavy. I like to spray it heavy in the middle. That way it doesn't ever come out. All right. And now I'm gonna go ahead and start the process of shoving this under there. All right, now that we've got both of the sliding doors completed, I'm gonna move on to these right here. Oh yeah, it's pretty gross looking because I just pulled that one off. This is old adhesive that I have to clean off before we put back up there. There's not a lot you can do to get this off of here, so I just rub it down with, you know, mineral spirits, acetone, rubbing alcohol, whatever you have. Just kind of rub it down, and whatever's left should adhere pretty okay to the new stuff. I haven't had any problem. We've got a slight contour in, but this one should be pretty easy. I'm gonna go ahead and get the pieces cut for this and just get this done off camera. Okay, I'm gonna go over the tools and the products that I used in this video. We've got the Loctite Spray Adhesive. The multi-purpose is what I used. It seemed like it was gonna be the safest on fabric. We've got fabric here. This is pretty thin stuff. It's almost a little sheer, and that's why I chose to go with this. I think it's called like interface or interference maybe. But this side you can feel has some sort of adhesive, like iron-on stuff. And the other side is pretty soft. I put the soft side up against the car and then ironed this with the spray adhesive to that. This little fancy guy, it is a cutter of sorts. You just, and it cuts that stuff. That's pretty cool. Borrowed that from a buddy. We've got assorted picks, pry tools, flathead screwdrivers. Those are going to come in handy, as well as this is just a normal vinyl squeegee. This is the one that I use for not vinyl. That's why it's all tore up. And then I've got this little guy. This is also for doing some vinyl stuff. I got it in a set, and it's thin and wedged, so it's easier to pack the stuff back there and not tear up what I'm working with. So that's gonna wrap it up for this video. It's been a long journey, and it's taken a lot to film this video. But we're finally done, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. It's been holding up pretty well, so I would definitely suggest using this method on yours. The interface stuff that I used, I don't know if that got explained in the video, but I'm just using that so it gives some sort of like foamy cushion behind the fabric, because as I showed you earlier, this fabric is very thin. It's like a Kleenex, man. And I just didn't want to put my hand up against it and get something like that. When I've got a little bit of this under it, you know, it gives you more rebound when you touch it, and it feels more finished out. So that's gonna close it up. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, the website for all the sweet merch needs. DefinitelyNotMechanics.com. And I hope you guys have a great day. It's raining here, but we're still having a good one.